The sudden attack leaves the target with little time to react. Once the first move is made, every mistake comes at a cost. The polar bear closes in with the raw power of the Arctic's top predator. Even other hunters tend to keep their distance. In a place where success is never guaranteed, silence itself can be the most intimidating force. The polar bear is an iconic predator of the frozen Arctic and one of the largest land carnivores in the world. A fully grown male can weigh more than 1,300 pounds, with a thick layer of fat, translucent fur, and broad paws that help it thrive in the harsh, icy environment. Its keen sense of smell, ability to swim long distances, and remarkable patience make it one of the Arctic's most effective hunters. Across the vast sea ice of the Arctic, seals are masters of the cold waters, protected by a thick layer of fat that helps them retain heat throughout the year. When the ocean freezes during winter, small breathing holes in the ice become the only places where marine animals can surface for air. And it is there that the polar bear's silent ambush begins. The bear moves slowly between snowdrifts, blending into the white landscape. It can wait patiently for hours for a seal to surface for air, knowing that a single moment of inattention can create an opportunity to hunt. When the ice carries the slightest vibration, the bear commits its full strength to a swift and decisive opening move. Yet even for such an experienced hunter, success is never guaranteed. With a hunting success rate of only about 15%, every opportunity is as valuable as a gamble against the unforgiving Arctic cold. In another hunt, this polar bear takes a more calculated approach against a seasoned seal. Once detected, the seal immediately dives into the water, while the bear quickly follows behind. The pursuit lasts only a few brief seconds before the seal is secured, becoming a valuable source of energy that helps the bear endure the days ahead. During the Arctic summer, when food becomes scarce, walruses can become a high-risk target for polar bears. An adult walrus can weigh more than 3,000 pounds and is protected by thick skin and long tusks that command caution from any predator. But for a male polar bear that has gone many days without a substantial meal, a group of walruses gathered near the water represents an opportunity that is difficult to ignore. It quietly moves down the coastal shoreline, focusing on a walrus resting slightly apart from the group. When the distance is close enough, the bear suddenly accelerates and rushes toward its target, but the commotion immediately alerts the entire group. Within seconds, the adult walrus slips into the cold water, where the advantage shifts entirely in its favor. The bear stops at the water's edge, quietly watching as the surface gradually becomes calm again. It understands that once the pursuit moves into the water, the advantage is no longer on its side. In the Arctic, not every predator succeeds through strength alone. Sometimes nature simply serves as a reminder that every stretch of water has its own master. Each summer, as the Arctic ice breaks into narrow waterways, hundreds of beluga whales move into shallow coastal waters to give birth, raise their young, and find shelter. An adult can grow over 15 feet long, weigh around 3,000 pounds, and carry a layer of blubber nearly 6 inches thick that helps retain heat in the frigid waters year-round. For the polar bear, they represent a valuable source of energy during the demanding Arctic summer. Amid those quiet waters, a polar bear is running low on energy after many days of travel. To the bear, the beluga pod represents a rare summer opportunity. It could enter the water and give chase, but in an environment that belongs to the belugas, the white whale's speed, diving ability, and agility continue to give them the advantage. This time, the bear changes its strategy. It remains motionless for hours along the shoreline, waiting for the rising tide to guide the beluga pod into shallower water. When the opportunity arrives, the ambush begins immediately. The bear focuses on a young beluga swimming close to the rocky edge. The calm surface suddenly erupts as the bear surges forward from the shallows, causing the pod to scatter and change direction in confusion. Not every ambush is successful, but in a place where every calorie of energy can influence survival, patience can sometimes be more powerful than strength. Along a fog-covered stretch of coastal ice, a pack of Arctic wolves quietly comes into view of a polar bear. There are no threatening roars and no direct confrontation. Between these two predators exists an unspoken boundary shaped by caution and the instinct to survive. An adult Arctic wolf weighs only about 100 pounds, making it much smaller than a polar bear. For that reason, the wiser choice is not a direct challenge. The wolves do not move too close. Instead, they patiently observe from a distance, lingering around the edge of the area and waiting for a more favorable opportunity. In an environment where food can be unavailable for days at a time, even the remaining scraps can be vital to an entire pack. And sometimes, survival does not belong to the strongest. It belongs to the one that knows how to wait the longest. As the lean season begins, Arctic sea ice gradually cracks apart and drifts farther into the ocean, making seals more difficult to find than ever before. Despite their massive size and remarkable strength, after weeks with limited food, even polar bears must remain cautious around one another in order to endure the ice melt season. Two adult male bears move slowly in wide arcs across the frozen ice, each trying to gain a more favorable position before closing the distance. Their heavy breathing mixes with deep, resonant vocalizations that carry across the snowy landscape as the space between them gradually disappears. Then the two massive bears begin to grapple and push against one another through a series of brief clashes, testing each other's strength, endurance, and resolve. For a polar bear, even a minor injury to a leg or shoulder can reduce its ability to hunt for weeks in the unforgiving Arctic cold. As a result, most of these encounters end when one bear chooses to back away and conserve its energy for future hunting opportunities. In the Arctic, the one that survives the longest is not always the most aggressive, but the one that knows when to step back at the right moment. Across the Arctic tundra, a herd of caribou begins a migration spanning hundreds of miles in search of fresh grazing grounds after the long winter. But during the brief Arctic summer, that migration also sets the stage for a pursuit across a landscape with almost nowhere to hide. A polar bear patiently waits for the caribou herd to become disorganized while crossing a cold river. Amid the rushing water and the tightly packed animals, one individual begins to fall behind the group. The bear immediately enters the water, unleashing a burst of power as the distance closes. It quickly secures its target and guides it toward the shoreline. The pursuit comes to an end quickly, but that rare opportunity provides enough nourishment to help the bear endure many more days during the demanding ice melt season. In another situation, the polar bear's hunting instincts become especially evident when it encounters a lone caribou separated from the herd. The encounter unfolds quickly as the caribou puts all its effort into escaping. The reward for the bear's many hours of patience, waiting for an animal to drift away from the group, is a valuable source of nutrition that helps it build and maintain its thick fat reserves. The brief Arctic summer returns, and as the ice retreats farther from shore, coastal cliffs become home to thousands of migratory birds. For the polar bear, this is not an ideal food source, but during a season of scarcity, it becomes a rare opportunity. A young bear appeared after many days without finding any seals. Its fat reserves were running low, forcing it to search for any remaining source of food. This time, agility matters more than strength. The bear climbs the rocky cliff, taking advantage of moments when the parent birds are away to reach eggs and young chicks. It is not a large source of energy, but it is enough to help the bear endure a few more days. In the Arctic, even the region's top predator sometimes has to rely on the smallest food sources to survive. Hidden beneath the freezing Arctic waters moves one of the ocean's most mysterious creatures, the narwhal. Growing over 18 feet long and weighing up to 3,500 pounds, it carries a long, spiraled tusk like an ancient spear, earning its place as one of the Arctic's living legends. Its mottled gray and black skin blends seamlessly into the icy waters, making it nearly invisible beneath the surface. Narwhals travel in small groups, gliding silently through the frozen sea. But like all marine mammals, no matter how deep they dive, they must return to the surface for air. And that is when the polar bear waits, still, silent, watching. Encounters between these two are rare, but when the moment comes, the bear depends on raw strength and perfect timing to seize its chance. Not every chance comes through the hunt. Sometimes the tides leave narwhal remains along the shore. In 2018, rare footage captured a polar bear dragging a narwhal across Baffin Island. A reminder that in the Arctic, even one rare opportunity can mean survival. In the Arctic, strength alone is not enough to survive. Every hunt is a balance between hunger and the struggle to endure. From seals and walruses to small bird nests, every opportunity can make a difference. If you enjoy the harsh survival moments of the wild, be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to join the next journey, where a new story of survival is about to begin.